I don't know, there's something about guest uploads that just tickle my fancy. We don't need to ask questions, this can just happen for now. What's up YouTube, my name is Tom and I am from a channel called Team D-Boys. As you can tell, I'm not American, nor am I British, so what am I? I am Australian. That's right, I am an Australian YouTuber. Let's move past those introductions and straight on to the topic of today's video. So what am I here to talk about today? Well, I'm here to talk about banned Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. 3 in particular today I'll be covering. Elemental Hero Stratos, Dark Magician of Chaos, Thousand Eyes Restrict. So, I'm going to be discussing whether I think these cards can or cannot come back, and then I'm going to turn it over to you guys and ask you guys whether you think these 3 cards can return. So, let's start with Elemental Hero Stratos. Stratos was banned, and as much as I hate the card because he's an 1800 level 4 floater, and arguably one of the best floaters in the game. Now, I hate this card with a passion because I hate playing against heroes. I hated this card when he was around, but I do understand that he could come back. I don't want him to. That's beside the point. I need to look past that and think he could come back. Not that he'd help anything really. He wouldn't do anything significant for the new masked heroes or just heroes in general. He would just be another search card. Not that they don't have enough of those already. Moving on to Dark Magician of Chaos. Now this is a card that I've wanted to see come back for a very long time. Since I started playing Spellbooks, which was back when Return of the Duelist came out, Spellbooks are arguably my favourite deck ever. Now, you might think I'm being biased here, but Dark Magician of Chaos will not do anything. He will come back as just this sort of dead card in the hand. DMOC is that card that, yes, he banishes the dude that he attacks. Yes, he gets back a spell card, and that is arguably seen as one of probably the most powerful things you can do in the game, is adding a spell card back to your hand, or even any card, but adding a spell card back to your hand is seen as pretty powerful. And when you compare DMOC to another card, of course, World of Prophecy, DMOC ain't doing shit. Dark Magician of Chaos versus World of Prophecy every time. If you had the choice to put one of the two, unless you're like me and you're nostalgic, you're not going to put DMOC in your deck for any good valid reason. He would be as dead as World is sometimes. You have to play a bunch of discard outlets. You have to change probably a lot of the deck to just sort of suit him in there. It's not really going to work. I think he could come back, if nothing else, just to 1 to start with. I think DMOC could come back. Let's talk about Thousand Eyes Restrict. Thousand Eyes Restrict has been banned since forever. He was used in GOAT control, people play Metamorphosis, and you summon him, and you have a bunch of scapegoats, and you flip him down, and you flip them up, and they can't attack, and all that bullshit. Thousand Eyes Restrict is a card where it's been highly debated as to whether people think this card could come back or not. And when you look at it, yes, you can instant fusion it, bring it straight out, flip it down, instant fusion, then will not kill it. Thousand Eyes Restrict ain't doing shit. Not only can you just instant fusion it, bring it out, flip it down, whatever, but that requires multiple, 3 or 4 cards. Like, you need the card that flips it down, you need the instant fusion. He's useless unless you have a Book of Moon, a Tsukiyomi, a Spellbook of Fate to flip him down. It's not gonna do anything to the game. Yeah, you might stun your opponent for maybe half a turn, or maybe a turn, if you're lucky, but not gonna do anything. And even then, what deck could you put him in? Let's just think about that. You get my point? You can't really put him in anything unless you make your entire deck around him, and that's going to be hard if they do what I'm suggesting and bring him back to 1. He's not going to do anything. Come back to spellbooks, because this is probably the one deck that you could maybe put him into. You could run Instant Fusion in spellbooks, play Instant Fusion and bring him out and do some stuff with Fate and fit some fancy, funny players like that. But again, the argument with all of these is that we have cards now that we didn't have back when these cards were amazing. These cards were amazing back in their prime, maybe with the exception of Stratos. Forget Stratos. Dark Magician of Chaos and Thousand Eyes Street were good, and they were retardedly good back in their prime because there was no Effect Veiler. There was no Breakthrough Skill, there was no Fiendish Chain. You had none of that. So bringing them back now with all these ways to effect negate and using monster effects to pop stuff without even having to sort of do anything really, it's not going to hurt the game. That is my discussion on Elemental Hero Stratos, Dark Magician of Chaos, and Thousand Eyes Street. If you guys like this video, please come on over and check out Team D-Boys. We do some awesome Australian Yu-Gi-Oh videos, top 10s, duels, deck profiles, discussions, skits, stuff like that. If you guys didn't like this video, please leave me a comment and give me some constructive criticism. And even if you didn't like the video, leave it a like for mkohl40. He's been really nice in letting me come onto his channel today. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe to mkohl40 if you haven't already, and subscribe to Team D-Boys, and I will talk to you guys later.